Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 2 of Tales from a Retro Rocker. Yes, I'm going to do episodes about bands other than Kiss, but I wanted to do the first 2 about Kiss because they were such an important band to me growing up. As a matter of fact, they're really important to me now as well. So important, in fact, that I wrote a book on the subject, the world's first and only encyclopedia of Kiss. So, this was a difficult episode to do because I had to boil decades and decades worth of great music down to 10 songs. Now, of course, I like the pyrotechnics and the makeup and the costumes and the spectacle of Kiss, but for me, it's always been first and foremost about the music. And they've done so many genres, of course, hard rock and heavy metal, but also pop, disco, infamously enough, grunge with the Carnival of Souls album, pop, and on and on and on. Great band. You know, they've done cool power ballads, but I boiled all this great catalog of music down to 10 songs. Now, this was tough because I didn't even have room for Love Gun or Destroyer, 2 of the band's most iconic songs of all time. Is Rock and Roll All Night in the list? Watch to find out. All right, let's get to it. My 10 favorite Kiss songs. Rocket Ride. This is a great Ace Frehley song, also off of Kiss Alive 2. And as the name of the album indicates, it is a live album. And if you open the gatefold cover, you see Kiss in concert. And as a kid, man, I just dreamed about what it must be like to go to a Kiss concert. Because I didn't get to go until later when I was in high school after they had taken their makeup off and everything, and they were much scaled back in terms of concerts. But the Kiss Alive album captivated me. But ironically enough, Rocket Ride is a studio cut. And as many of you know, the first 3 sides on Kiss Alive 2 are live tracks, but side 4 is nothing but studio tracks, which I think is pretty neat. When this came out, 5 brand new Kiss songs I'd never heard before, not just live versions of songs I already knew. So Rocket Ride is a great hard-driving song sung by Ace Frehley, my favorite Kiss band member, and the song really suits him well. It fits his voice well. He's not known as a classically great lead singer, but he does have a very cool voice, and it also fits the Spaceman theme. Kiss, Ace Frehley, the Spaceman, and Rocket Ride kind of sounds like a journey through space, if you could hear in space, if space wasn't a vacuum, and perhaps a science fiction version of, cruising through space. It kind of sounds like that. You're on a rocket ride. And of course it's Kiss, so it is a double entendre. The song is about sex as well. But as a kid, I was oblivious to that. And I remember the first time I heard this song, my brother actually got Kiss Alive 2 for Christmas in Arkansas from my Aunt Linda. And I remember him opening that, and we were both very excited. Rocket Ride, song number 10. Song number 9 is Flaming Youth, off of Destroyer. Now, my Destroyer CD is lying around here somewhere. I don't, strangely enough, have the album. Growing up as a kid, I had the 8-track tape, and then later I got the CD. The 8-track is long gone, but I would listen to that 8-track in my dad's pickup truck when we would go into town, as he called it. We'd go in to, pick up some stuff at the store or whatever, and I would listen to Destroyer in his truck, and he did not like Kiss even one bit. He was all about country and western, which we also listened to, and I liked. That was fine. But he was nice enough to let me listen to Kiss sometimes, and I have fond memories of listening to Flaming Youth. It's really cool that they incorporated a calliope in this song. As many of you know, Destroyer was a very heavily produced album, and there's all kinds of creative studio tricks in the album, including like using, a children's choir for Great Expectations, another great album or a great song on Destroyer. But Flaming Youth has a calliope, sort of where maybe guitar or piano parts would be at certain points in the song. And I've heard Kiss, and Paul Stanley in particular, say, what were we thinking? Using a calliope was kind of wrong-headed. And I thought, no, not at all. I thought it was a great creative idea, and it sounds really cool in the song. And I also like Flaming Youth because it's an empowering song. As a kid, I didn't have a very strong personality, and I was shy and sort of timid. And I didn't have I was just kind of a little bit milquetoasty maybe, but Flaming Youth was a very empowering song, and I wish I would have taken it more to heart, but it probably did resonate with me on some level. Great lyrics. And I remember hearing Michael Brandvold, the host of Three Sides of the Coin Kiss podcast, talking about what great lyrics Flaming Youth has, and I agree. Flaming Youth at number 9. Number 8 is Creatures of the Night. Now, I used to have this cassette tape that I would listen to in my car. That is long gone. And again, my CD is around here somewhere. My CDs are all over the house. I couldn't find it for this recording. But anyway, Creatures of the Night is the title track off the great Creatures of the Night album. And I remember back in the day, in the early 80s, when I would go to the bowling alley a lot. I took a bowling class in school as well. As a matter of fact, one night we were at a bowling alley in Fort Worth, somewhere probably close to downtown. We had filled up a whole lane with a bunch of my friends, just having a blast. And it was getting pretty close to midnight, but we needed to, we finished the bowling game and we wanted to go to the midnight movies to see Rocky Horror Picture Show. So my friends and I piled up in a Trans Am, my friend's Trans Am. There were probably 5 or 6 of us on there. Maybe somebody was in somebody's lap because there were girls there too. It was awesome fun, just had a great night. And we cruised like a bat out of hell to Arlington to go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Well, my friend's driving, he pops in a brand new album, so to speak, a cassette, Creatures of the Night, which we had never heard before because it's a brand new record. And the title track, the first song on the record, Creatures of the Night, came on, and it just sounded so awesome. Such a hard-driving, killer song. Paul Stanley sounds amazing on it. It's a really strong vocal for him, one of his best ever. And Creatures of the Night was a big, comeback for Kiss in terms of hard rock. They had just done, like the disco-flavored Dynasty and the pop Unmasked and the concept album Music from the Elder. And Creatures of the Night was a triumphant return for Kiss with hard rock. The album didn't sell that well, unfortunately, but it's still an amazing album. And Creatures of the Night is the perfect Halloween song, or the perfect song you want to listen to while you're cruising across town to the midnight movies. Creatures of the Night at number 8. Number 7 is Shock Me off of Love Gun, another Ace Frehley song. And he wrote this song after he was basically electrocuted on stage. And it's a really, songs like this that are inspired by some significant event oftentimes are very good, and Shock Me was indeed. And I like the live version on Kiss Alive 2 even better than the studio version. I love when Paul Stanley says, "We're going to turn the microphone over to Ace Frehley, Shock Me." He screams that. He's such a great front man, and he really controls the crowd, and he turns the microphone over to Ace Frehley. And Shock Me was the first song where Ace sang lead vocals for Kiss. He had written songs for earlier albums, but Shock Me was the first in terms of Ace Frehley singing lead, and he does a great job. Shock Me comes in at number 7. And as a kid, Love Gun, along with Destroyer, I had on 8-track. Those 2 tapes I would listen to in my dad's truck, and it was super cool that he let me listen to them because, no, he did not like Kiss, but he never said he hated them or anything like that. He was too nice for that. And my parents in general were really cool about letting me listen to Kiss. We grew up in a religious household, Church of Christ, very old-fashioned religious, type atmosphere as far as church went. But my parents didn't try to control us. They weren't overbearing with that kind of stuff. They weren't the stereotypical religious parents. We just went to church, and they showed, their faith through their actions. So anyway, props to my parents for being cool, letting me listen to Kiss, and even my dad let me listen to those great 8-tracks in his truck. So that Shocked Me, number 7. Number 6 is Then She Kissed Me from Love Gun. Now this is going to be a surprising choice. Again, another track off Love Gun, another one of my favorite Kiss albums. This is going to be surprising to many of you because a lot of Kiss fans hate Then She Kissed Me. For a lot of them, it's one of their least favorite Kiss albums, or they just downright can't stand it. It is a cover of the 1963 track Then He Kissed Me by the Crystals, a song produced by Phil Spector, the legendary Phil Spector. And Then She Kissed Me is just a very romantic song. And Kiss does a very, just a really sincere cover of this song. It's really romantic, and it's such a 180 for most of their songs. They have so many raunchy songs, and that's fine. I have no problem with raunchy rock and roll. That's part of what makes rock and roll great oftentimes is a raunch. And I'm a big Stones fan, and nobody does raunch better than the Rolling Stones. But I like that Then She Kissed Me is so much different and just has such a different vibe and different sound than any other Kiss song. A lot of people hate it for that, but that's why I like it. It's just very sincere, very romantic, and hey, I guess I'm a romantic at heart. What can I say? Then She Kissed Me, number 6. If you've never heard it or if you don't like it, give it a fresh listen and let me know what you think. Number 6. Number 5 is Hard Luck Woman off the awesome Rock and Roll Over album. Rock and Roll Over is easily one of my 3 or 4 favorite Kiss albums. It is absolutely amazing. And Hard Luck Woman was a song that Paul Stanley wrote for Rod Stewart, but Peter Criss sang it. He wanted to sing that song, and he sounds great. He sounds a little bit like Rod Stewart. And, you know, a lot of people think, and you know, Peter Criss might have technically the best voice of any of the band members. It's very raspy, it has sort of a classic rock sound, and it's really cool, and he does great on Hard Luck Woman. Garth Brooks even covered Hard Luck Woman. As many of you know, probably all of you know, Garth Brooks is a famous, musician, famous for his country and Western music, but he covered Hard Luck Woman, and he does a great sort of countrified version of it. It's a very versatile song in that way, and it just sounds really, really cool. It's the Kiss song for, like, you know how Beth is sort of the Kiss song for fans that don't necessarily like the band? Like my sister says, I don't like Kiss except for Beth. A lot of people say that, but Hard Luck Woman as well, I think you could say that. You know, if you've only heard Beth and you don't know that much about Kiss, give Hard Luck Woman a listen. It is really, really excellent. That's at number 5. Number 4, another song from Destroyer, Shout It Out Loud. It's a fist-pumping anthem. As a matter of fact, it's my favorite Kiss anthem. I like it even better than Rock and Roll All Night. Well, there's your spoiler. Rock and Roll All Night didn't make the cut. Maybe because I'm a little burned out on it. That's part of the reason. But anyway, Shout It Out Loud has always been my favorite Kiss anthem. And I like that it's in a Scooby-Doo Halloween. And there's animated Kiss in this cartoon that you can get on DVD. It's a Scooby-Doo episode, Scooby-Doo Halloween. My daughter and I used to watch that. Really enjoyed that. And just Shout It Out Loud just has such a slick sound. It's perfect for the Destroyer album because it's very heavily produced, at least relative to, most of Kiss's other output. And it's very slick sounding. Shout It Out Loud at number 4. Number 3 is Nothin to Lose of Kiss's very first album. Just a great track, and I like the live version even better off of Kiss Alive. Their breakout, obviously, live album. It was definitely toyed with, tinkered with in the studio. It's not a 100% pure live album, not even close, but it is an excellent album. And Nothin to Lose, and back in 1975 when I first discovered Kiss, as far as I remember, Nothin to Lose was the first song I remember hearing from Kiss, and it just has such energy, and the live version just really, really cooks, and Peter Criss's voice in particular sounds fantastic on it. Nothin to Lose at number 3. Number 2 is Strutter, again, off Kiss's first album. This was a really strong first album for, compared to any band. Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses, Van Halen 1 by obviously Van Halen. There's some great debut albums, but I put Kiss right up there, even though the production values aren't as good as on the other albums I mentioned. But it is a fantastic album that gave them a lot of their trademark songs, including Strutter. Strutter paints a vibrant picture of, this lady walking in high heels. Paul Stanley's voice sounds really strong on it. And it's just a really atmospheric song that I love the way the rhyming Paul does in it is interesting. The way he sings is interesting. It's just a great song, Strutter. All right, let's get to number 1. Another song off of Destroyer, King of the Nighttime World. Now, this song I think is underrated by the band. You don't find it on their greatest hits compilations like Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. It wasn't on Double Platinum. Very disappointing. King of the Nighttime World is the song on Destroyer that picks up right after Detroit Rock City, which is a much more famous song. King of the Nighttime World just has such a great atmosphere, and it was Kiss lip-synced it back in the day on the Paul Lynde Halloween special, so at least the band knew it was an important and a good song, or the producers of that show saw it as strong regardless. It does have some, importance to the band, but they don't do it, in concert like on their, current tour or anything. So, but I think it's just great. King of the Nighttime World, I can listen to it again and again. It's got slower parts, faster parts, and it's just kind of a great all-around Kiss song. If you want to get just sort of the general vibe of the band, listen to King of the Nighttime World. I think it's great for that. Now, you might have noticed that I didn't mention any Gene Simmons songs. Calling Dr. Love almost made the cut. Great Expectations almost made the cut. Gene's done a lot of great songs like Going Blind. You might have also noticed that there's no non-makeup era songs. They just didn't quite make it. Like Unholy by Gene, that's a cool song. It's not near my top 10, but just pointing out some non-makeup songs. Heaven's on Fire is one of my favorite Kiss songs, probably top 30 or so. Didn't make the cut. I remember hearing Heaven's on Fire like in bars back in the day when it came out. It was popular. It was a pretty mainstream song. I heard it on the radio every once in a while, and I would hear it in bars from time to time. Thrills in the Night is my favorite all-time non-makeup song, or at least one of my favorites, and I might do a video on that someday. Maybe I just gave away the spoiler, my number one, Thrills in the Night. Regardless, let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Kiss song of all time? Heck, give me a top 10 list, your favorite Kiss songs of all time, or maybe just tell me what I got wrong, what song I should have included, what song I should have left out. All right, thank you for watching my 10 favorite Kiss songs of all time, Retro Rocker episode number 2, and I promise the next episode of Retro Rocker will be about another band other than Kiss. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We will talk to you guys later.